Can you give the listeners and coaches and people that are playing at club level, give them one or two little quick tips that could help their doubles?
First, find a good coach.
Are you available?
Yeah. Find a good coach available, because I think first you will probably fit into one of the three major fear. One fear is the fear of getting hit, fear of getting passed, fear of getting lobbed when you're at the net. And if you don't address these three basic fear and you have one, you will not be as effective. So for me, the fear of getting hit, I don't teach. People won't see me here, but I don't see like this. I accept like to have a backhand grip. So if the ball comes fast on you, you already prepare, you cover your body. And you cover also if you stretch on your backhand and you change your grip for a forehand. So I teach that. Fear of getting past in the tram line, I make a little competition. I put like the 4 members over there. I say, I'm gonna hit you like a nice ball cross court about at the same pace as you do.
Yep.
If you put like the ball in the tram line over 3 on 10, like 4 on 10, 3 on 10, I buy a drink to everybody or whatever it is, and they don't succeed. They cannot do it.
It's difficult.
And I say even less. I mean, if the ball is very easy, maybe, but if your friend hit anything that looks a bit like attacking, a bit like annoying, because it's a bit deeper, it's a bit more, please don't protect it. Switch a bit to the middle. But if it's very short and easy, okay, protect your tram line, but not. And they realize, okay, so you have to change your belief about things. And for the lob, I say on the first serve, if you get lobs, it's okay. Your partner will switch because their partner stays back.
Yep.
No big deal. And when you're both at the net, I show them where to stand on the wall, and I show them the service line behind, and we make them a little test. Every time they cross the service line before a lob, which is slow, they never get lobbed.
Yep.
So I tell them, look behind, how far is it? Okay, now lob, cross the line before, and even like normal member, if they cross the line before, they don't get lobbed. So you have to break these fears to be good.
Yeah.
Second, this is more, I know you wanted to talk to member for the coaches. Stop having people serve and volley everything, men and women.
Yeah.
There's about 95% of the women stay back on their serve, and now 55% of the men stay back on their
55
serve.
now, is it? Wow.
Every year it goes up. There's more and more singles players playing. So why would you force me like me? Now, if I go in a club to train and the guy forced me to serve and volley, my knee won't take it, Let me serve and stay back. No. And if people are afraid to get hit, like on the hot seat, a lot of people play both back now. Let them play both back. Let them serve and stay back. And let's show them how to win when you stay back on your serve or you're both back on the return. And this is all fine now. The players do all these variations. So that's it. So respect the members, and you members have a coach who will help you to go past the fear of getting past, getting hit, and getting loved.
Yep.
And you're going to be very effective in doubles.
Very good advice, Louis. And to pick you up on that, it was actually something I wanted to talk to you about, and you've brought it up there, is about the serving and staying back. And I knew it was around 50%. I didn't realize in the men's game it had gone to 55, and the women's as high as 90-95. How much have you had to evolve the way that you coach on the back of that? Because I guess that changes lots of things when you're teaching players.
Well, it changed a lot. Like, for example, Jamie start to chip and charge like you see in the club or in singles. Because if the guys stay back, he will not stay back and start to battle, especially play on Du's side. That really will battle against the best singles players in the world on their forehand, and he will be on his backhand. Why should he do that? He does that. Second, we start to introduce a lot of different tactics. There's a lot of tactics, and for both back, we put the rule, for example, never volley twice in a row to the forehand.
Yeah.
It could be like simple, but go reach the backhand, because the backhand, even if it's steady, normally there's less revolution on the ball, less shape. It's a bit flatter, so it's easier to volley.
Yeah.
And we have developed. I remember doing a camp. I think it was 6-7 years ago. The team was, let's beat those singles players.
Yeah.
You know? So let's beat these guys when they stay both back. We're gonna volley on the deuce side backhand guy. He will have no angle on his backhand, and we'll do that. If we'll do this, we'll do that. So yeah, I have to redesign a lot of the patterns because until even 2010, if someone was serving and staying back, he will look like, "What are you doing?" You know. And suddenly it starts you, and when it crossed the pivotal like 20%, like if you read the tipping point, there's always a number where people start to say, "Oh, it's fine to do that," and it has helped people to stay back, to not feel forced. Like Niels Kupski, he will serve and volley first serve, but he felt very comfortable and not inadequate to serve and stay back on his second serve and smack his forehand. But if he was 10 years ago, he would be criticized.
He would be a sissy. What you doing, you sissy? You don't stay back. It was very, very much like that. I mean, Louis, I remember it was probably back in 2004. I played a challenger event in Barcelona on the clay, and I actually signed up for Partner Wanted. I thought it'd be quite nice to go to Barcelona. You know, I signed up, and I ended up playing with Timuri's Gabishvili.
Oh, yeah.
And we drew Andre Saar and Levinsky first round, who were both about top 50 at the time. You know, we turned up, and Gabishvili, it was my first experience playing with someone who served and stayed back. And we lost the first set 6-1. And I didn't really know what was happening. I was like, you know, he was like, I was stood there. And then he sat down at change of ends, and I said, come on, we can do this. I didn't know him really. And he just said, and he really spoke to me in quite a strong Russian accent. No, we take one point at a time. And he then honestly hit winner after winner after winner. For two sets, and I just had to knock a couple of volleys off, and I thought, wow, this is the future. This is amazing. So a couple of days later, we played against Fernando Vicente and Oscar Hernandez, who were both top 100 singles guys, centre court Barcelona, and it was the worst 45 minutes of my life. It was 3 players at the back of the court and me at the net. And you talk about trying to find their backhands. I don't think they hit one backhand in the mat. I don't know if remember, Vicente was very talented and skillful with the forehand. And Oscar Hernandez just like smacked heavy forehands. And we lost 6-love, and I think it was 6-4 in the second set. It was a bit more respectful, but it was just, I wanted the ground to swallow me up. So the ability to adapt to that is something that certainly I felt as a player. And I'm sure, like you say, as a coach, you've had to do that as well.
Yeah, one thing that is important on that, because I've been in clubs sometime and observing, and the coach asked the member, when the server stay back, to go to the net, go to the service line, go to the net, go to the service line. This is impossible.
Yep.
So at the beginning, the doubles players, when they were dealing with that, they didn't know what to do. So I think what is very important, I give them a system to how to move when the ball go back and forth across.
Yep.
If they're rally, the play is pretty much neutral, so you stay in the wall position. You don't go close to the net. You don't go to the service line. You just stay more or less there.
Yep.
You shift a bit toward the middle to give a chance to your partner to hit the ball down the line.
Yep.
Then you move a bit there. As soon as it's an attacking shot, as soon as it's stop, then you move close to the net.
Squeeze, yeah.
And if it's a defensive shot, really short, and the guy will attack you, you can back up to the service line and defend your trem line.
Yes.
And let the guy, because you protect your trem line, hit cross court, because your friend at the baseline will have much more chance to deal with it than you if the ball is smack at you.
Yep.
So it's tough for the people who's listening right now because you don't see it, but it's a simple system. Don't go close to the net unless it's an attacking shot. If it's neutral, stay pretty much in the wall position, which is a bit in between the net, and just move a bit to your right or to your left.
Yeah.
And if you're in defense because they're going to attack, just retrieve back to your own service line a bit closer to the tram line, and after that, read what's going on after that.
Very good.
But running back and forth like crazy, it's not an option.
You do see it, and you see it all the time, and you see people, they're like headless chickens.
Yeah, because the coach said, come on, go up, back, back. Poor members, they get
ball,
like, they just cannot follow. But the nice thing is they don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's like cardio tennis.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
Cardio tennis session. But yeah, one of the ones, and I know you talk a lot about this, and I would be a big believer in this, is what's the best way to be a good doubles player? Pick the right partner.
Yeah.
And and in terms of that, one thing that always fascinates me, Louis, is, and I remember the Bryan brothers saying this, that every December or going into January Australian Open, they felt as if they ended up being the best team in the world because so many people had split up at the back end of the year before, and they kind of took their time getting to know each other. And then the last half of the year, they felt like teams started to really catch them up and maybe overtake them. And it just seems like there's so many changes so often, so I guess there's lots to talk about on this, but how do you pick the right partner to start with?
It's difficult because sometimes it's based on pure business. You want to do the Masters.
Yeah.
The Masters, like Formula One of tennis.
Yep.
1,000 point, a lot of money. This is where, and if your ranking is 30, even if the nicest guy, you want to play like let's say Johnny O'Mara is very nice. Yep. Everybody likes him. He's good player too. But if his ranking is 60 and you're 30. Yep. If you play with him, you cannot play the Masters because the cut is about 55.
Yep.
So 30 plus 60, it's 90. You won't play in it. So you have to find a guy in the top 30. So that's not a lot of people.
Yeah.
Then if you're the outside player, you have to find a deuce side player.
Yep.
Okay, so now suddenly you cut right away almost in two. So you have about 10, 15. Some teams are already established. So you don't, okay, to put it simple, you don't have that much choice. Sometimes you pick up someone and you try to make it work. Try to make it work, or you try to find someone who combine your strength. Like for example, Jamie Murray, because we both know him very well. Yeah. His game is more on volley, yeah. So he will want to have a partner like Niels Kupski or Bruno who can return the ball quite hard, yeah. So that he can impose, intercept the volley, and more shine at the net.
Yeah.
And if you play with someone who would not return hard, for example, and the guy who return hard, don't mind that Jamie lobs a lot because it creates a lot of variation. One guy is lobbing on one side, the other guy it's hard on the other side. You don't give a rhythm. Yeah. Jamie serve lefty, the other guy serve righty. So like this, so you don't have as much choice as you may think.
Yeah.
Because you have to choose in a very small bracket. Yeah. And after that, you have two choices. Either you get along well with the guy and you go have lunch often, you have a social time, or you don't get along with the guy and there's no social activity. And you just meet on the court for the warm-up and the match, and you play as a business, as a business partner.
Yeah.
And these teams are those who will split more often because as soon as the business is not good, they want to change.
That must happen, though.
It's not easy to find a good one.
Yeah.
And this is why I think why I'm very quite good is I coach a team.
Yeah.
I see coaching double as coaching three people. I coach a deuce side player, the outside player, and the team. In which way the deuce side player will set up the outside, yes, and so on and so on. And if you start to develop a team, really like develop a team and a team identity, team tactics, team, and everything is team. Always that team has a main focus. Yeah. You create a bit that bonding and that special thing that they may stay together longer.
Yeah.
Because it could not just be based on liking each other or
no.
Because a lot of time they come from different culture. Like Bruno, for example, is Brazilian, or Rajiv is American and is a British, and they have different culture, different interests, maybe in sports. So they're different. So I have to find a common ground, and the common ground is the team identity.
Yeah.
And to develop a lot of a real team approach that makes them stick and bound together.